Dudes, what is up? Welcome to my tiny home and welcome to my channel. My name is Stacy. I am going to be constantly distracted by birds throughout this whole video. It is a very snowy day today. It's actually been a very mild winter, but the winter has come back with a vengeance this afternoon, and that means that all the birds are coming out looking for my bird seed. So it's perfectly fitting day to record today's video. Actually, I had a epic encounter with a bald eagle this morning. If you don't already know this about me, I'm obsessed with birds. Everyone in my life knows that I'm obsessed with birds, and so my neighbor knocked on my door to alert me as to the whereabouts of this epic bald eagle. Today is going to be a review of the Cuckoo bird feeder. I'm gonna be totally honest with you guys, I did not purchase this myself, and I probably never would have. Maybe not a product like this, but I would not have purchased this particular product. I cannot speak to the company's ethical standpoint, and you guys know how I am about being very picky with the things that I buy. And in this little corner of the internet is never a place where I want to influence you to buy shit. However, it's birds, okay? How can I not? So this was given to me as a gift from my parents for Christmas. I have had this set up for 2 months now, and I have been using it enough to want to share with you guys a full review of this product. When I initially received this, and my parents told me they bought it from Amazon, I'm like, oh god, this is gonna be a cheap piece of crap. It's probably not even gonna work. My expectations were not high. It's got a solar panel on top, so it connects to the Wi-Fi in your house, and it has a memory card inside that is connected to an app on my phone where it will motion detect any bird that comes to the feeder, and it will take photos for you automatically. But it also has basically like a live stream feature where you can see what's in front of your feeder and you can record videos. So it takes auto photos, it does not take auto videos. By the way, I think you could totally do this by just strapping a wildlife camera in front of a bird feeder. Like, you don't have to buy this particular model. Obviously, the app that comes with it, I think, would make it a little bit more preferable over just strapping a wildlife camera to it, because then you have to, plug it into your laptop and extract the photos and stuff. It just automates it in a way that's a little more convenient. We had to assemble it. I installed the app on my phone, which is called Bird Lover. Not a great name. It's not even the name of the product. The feeder comes with a cable, like a USB charger. I plugged it into the wall and made sure it was at 100% before we mounted it outside. So if you guys have been watching my channel for a while, you might know that I used to have satellite internet. Thankfully, another internet service provider offers antenna service at this park. It happened about a year after I moved in, but I still have the pole from that old satellite. The satellite dish we actually took down, and my friend welded onto a barrel to make a barbecue for his wedding. Upcycling over here. The pole I left in its position, so I actually mounted the bird feeder onto that pole. So it's right beside my house here. Another thing that I had to set up was a separate Wi-Fi channel. I'm not sure what it's called. 5G is like too fast for it. It won't register on that network. So I had to make I think it's like 2.4, which I set up on the Rogers website on my account. So I can still tune in to the live stream from my phone from anywhere. I don't have to be within proximity of the device as a dual duty security camera in that way, because it's facing the front of my house and I can see anyone that comes to the front door. I will say that the motion sensor is triggered by any movement. So if someone walks by the house, a lot of the automatic photo captures are of not birds at all. Apparently this app also has a AI feature that will identify the birds for you. Now, I don't need that because I am excellent at identifying birds. However, if you're not, I'm going to recommend you another app. Since we're on the topic, I'm going to tell you actually 2 apps that you should download if you're into birding. The first one, which is the most fun in my opinion, is called Merlin. The second one is called eBird. So they're actually connected. They're like they're both made by Cornell University. Merlin helps you identify birds through photos, through sound, which is super cool. And they also have a step-by-step identifying process. So depending on the size or the color, where you saw it, what it was doing, and where you're located and the time of year, it will help you figure out what bird it most likely was. But I could take a photo from this bird lover app and put it into Merlin if I needed to, and then, it could identify in that way. Actually, by using this app over the course of a year, I'm very good at identifying the sounds of different birds now, and I can identify most of their sounds on my own without the help of the app. So it's allowed me to learn a lot. And you can also see when you identify a bird where it typically will go at different times of year. The second app, eBird, is really just for birding, bird watching, you can call it that, but birding is I don't want to say professionals, but what the real hobbyists refer to it as, which is basically when you go somewhere bird watching, you create a list. So let's say I saw, 12 cedar waxwings, one great horned owl, and then you submit that information. Don't use this app if you're not like really serious about this as a hobby, because that data then goes to Cornell University and other research initiatives and efforts that go towards conservation, tracking migration patterns of birds. So you don't want to give them incorrect information that you cannot 100% verify. Last time I was in Ottawa, I wanted to see some goldeneye ducks. I think it's called the common goldeneye. It can actually show me markers on a map of where people have seen that kind of bird and when. It really connects you to the community, and it's just a whole lot of fun if you're a bird nerd like me. I have not had to recharge the battery on this at all. The solar panel actually worked, which is quite surprising to me because we've had a very cloudy winter. There have been definitely a few days where it was like hovering around 19% battery life, but overall it's kept up. If it has like a sunny day, it'll reach 100% charge, and then I just don't have to worry about it. I do fill it, I would say like every 2 weeks. It does have a large capacity, so I have a tube feeder right in front of my house, and I have to refill that one much more frequently. I will also say, especially because of the dish that the birds can kind of sit in, they can basically sit on top of their own food. So as with all bird feeders, if you're gonna put bird feeders out, please clean them regularly. Birds can very easily spread diseases to one another. I just make sure I take the camera, all of the electronic parts out, dunk it into a bucket of bleach and water, and then rinse it off. If you're gonna get into this birding stuff, of course it's fun, it brings so much joy to my life, but please take it seriously, because we are with the birds' natural habitats and their migration patterns enough. We're doing enough damage. If you want to be a steward to the bird population, please do your research. Do a lot more research than what I'm talking about in this video. So now I'm just going to insert a bunch of clips that I have recorded on this device so that you can see the quality of the footage is quite good. I would highly recommend this feeder if you're interested in buying it yourself. I do not have any links in the description down below. I'm not trying to make this easy. Again, I don't want to encourage people to buy things on Amazon. And if you find something kind of similar to this that comes from a more ethical company or a more reputable company, I would encourage you to go that route instead. But I will say I really like this product. It kind of fills the void for me. I recently left Instagram of like checking my messages in the morning on the app and just, seeing all the chickadees. It's mostly chickadees that come to the feeder, but as you saw from that footage, I've definitely had other birds come to visit. And getting this like new vantage point right up close to it, it's really funny actually. Some of the birds seem to be aware of the camera, like they know they're being watched. If you want to send me your photos and your videos of your birds, your deer, turkeys, whatever you catch on camera, I love watching wildlife in their element, doing their thing, and I'm just like humbled to be observing their their life cycle and to be a part of it. And now the mallards have arrived at my doorstep. Hello. They just hang out right under the feeder to get the drippings. One just patiently waiting by the water for these guys. Look at him. Look at her. All right, that's all for now, folks. Take it easy.